Welcome to Read It or Unhaul It Holiday Edition. This is the first reading vlog of Bookmas, and I wanted to start off really fun and go through all of my holiday themed romance books. I'm not a big romance reader, but I will read romance at Christmas time, and I have too many on my TBR shelf. So I have first wrapped up all of my Christmas holiday books. There are 8 of them total. And then I have put a corresponding number on a piece of paper so I can randomly select them from this jar. As we draw these out, I'm going to spend the next few days reading these holiday books, but with the caveat that I don't have to read it. If I start reading it, if I think it's cringy, I don't like the characters, anything of the sort, I'm going to put it down, I'm going to unhaul it, and then I'm going to draw my next selection. So the goal of this is to get through as many of these as I can. I would like to end December with no holiday romances left on my physical TBR. So before we get started with the actual reading and drawing, I'm going to send you back to the Ghost of Christmas Past so she can tell you what books I have here. Here are all the books for this reading experiment. We have All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox, The Christmas Orphan Club by Becca Freeman, Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory, Once Upon a December by Amy Reichert, Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayless, The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, The Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan, and A Season for Second Chances by Jenny Bayless. You will find out more about these books as I draw them, as I select them for reading, but until then, let's get to wrapping. Alright, so now that you know what the books are, it's time to select our first one. There aren't that many pieces of paper, but it's still fun to draw out of a jar. Okay, let's see. Number 8 is our first selection. I just have the stack sitting right here with me right now, which is convenient. It is the book on the top, so let's see what it is. Alright, the first book is The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman. I called these romances. I don't know if they're actually all romance books. They might be. And let's find out what it is. So Hannah and Finn have spent every Christmas together since college. Neither has anywhere else to go. Hannah's parents died and Finn's disowned him when he came out. When the pair starts their adult lives in New York City, they add stylish Priya and mysterious Theo to the group, solidifying a found family and sense of belonging they've always craved. But now when Finn announces a move to LA, this Christmas may be their last together. Hannah is terrified of losing the family she's built for herself, even as her boyfriend nudges her toward commitment. Meanwhile, Finn struggles with the things he's about to leave behind, namely his unexpressed feelings for Theo. Does growing up mean growing apart? This Christmas, the changes these friends fear may be exactly what they need. Okay, I'm intrigued. Christmas in New York is gonna get me every time, and I love that this is a found family spent at Christmas. So there are about 350 pages in this book. I'm going to get started with reading it and then just bring you along as I enjoy my holiday activities. I actually have a whole holiday bucket list that I'll share with you later on, but let's just get started with the reading. Okay, they were just both in their beds being cute, but I started The Christmas Orphans Club. I don't like it. I'm already ready to DNF it. I don't know if I'm just being overzealous because I'm excited about the video concept, but I don't like this book so far. We start off following Hannah, and she is in New York meeting up with her friends present day to enjoy a Christmas celebration, but just her personality, she feels very immature, very annoying. She has this running commentary on the world around her that I just don't like. And I already felt like she was immature, and then the next chapter we're going to be with 2008 Hannah, which is probably just going to make it worse, right? So I've decided I'm done with it. You know, I'm not too attached to or excited about any of these books, so if I start off and it's not my vibe, I'm just going to move on with my life. So it's time to draw a new book. Also, it's getting dark outside. The sun sets at like 5 p.m. now, so after this, I'm immediately showering, changing into pajamas, and gonna get super comfy for whatever book I draw next. Okay, oh my gosh, why do I feel so much pressure? Okay, I have one. It is number 4, which I've just been carrying this stack around. Here's book number 4. Let's see what's inside. This is All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. True love wasn't on their holiday wish list. When Sadie and Max are selected as contestants on the famed reality singing show Star Maker, oh no, each thinks they've finally gotten their big Nashville break. But then they're paired up for duet week and stun the world with their romantic onstage chemistry. With fans going wild for #Saxy, the network demands that they remain a duo on and off stage or exit the competition. Faking a relationship until their final performance in the Star Maker holiday special shouldn't be too hard except for one small problem. Sadie and Max can't stand each other. But with their dreams just within reach, they agree to the ruse. Will their fake relationship be exposed before they can win? Or will an unexpected trip to Banff spark real feelings by the Christmas finale? Okay. Heavy Christmas. And I want to see Banff, so that's exciting. This book is 320 pages. It looks like it's from both of the characters' perspective. A musical competition, singing competition. I don't know about that. Well, what is there to know? I mean, I don't watch them anymore. Probably not since like the 2010s, 2000, early 2000. I don't know. But that's what we're reading next. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to give this one more of a chance, but I'm telling you, if it makes me cringe and I feel dislike for the characters, I'm quitting. So, off to get cozy. Alright, I got into my Christmas pajamas. I wanted to show you these 2 very important lists that are going to be guiding my December. So I've made 2 lists here. First is my holiday bucket list. Read holiday books, which is what we're doing now. Holiday crafts, go ice skating, make Hanukkah dinner with my boyfriend, crochet a blanket, this is a Christmas themed blanket, share treats, I kept that vague because I want to give something to people, but we'll see what it is. Do Christmas puzzles, make Christmas tree cookies, oh this is a particular cookie I like to make, cook cozy meals, donate books, watch Christmas movies, sample all tea, I'll get to that in a second, see Christmas lights, go on walks. I was really just having a great time drawing things. They're so cute. And then over here, we have my tea advent calendar. Now it's not an advent calendar at all. I would just like in the month of December that I go through and drink some of all of my teas, because why do I have so many? But I only drink Paris every day. So here's a bunch of the teas I have. I ran out, so I also put hot chocolate and home brew some coffee, because I usually only drink coffee out because I don't drink it that often. So I just felt like drawing, and I would like to draw some more. Maybe I'll just decorate these pages more, or I could do some holiday crafts to fulfill that. But sample all tea is this. So it's not really an advent calendar because I have a lot of freedom with it, and it's just as I drink the tea, mark it off. I can do as many as I want in a day. I just want to get through all of them. There's actually one missing because I got a new one, holiday tea, when I refilled my Paris. So these are the things guiding my month. I really wanted an advent calendar. I was super tempted by the Fortnum & Mason tea and biscuits advent calendar, but the price was insane, and then I was like, you've got tea at home, so I made this instead. So you'll be seeing this as I get to check things off, and they're going to be front and center on my fridge so that I keep the reminder here to do it. And now I have a sad update for you. I don't want to read All I Want for Christmas either. I started it and I just don't like, again, the writing or the characters or something. It again is just instantly unappealing, and I know it might seem ridiculous to already give up on a book so quickly, and I didn't give it that much of a chance, but I'm looking for a particular something. And I know now not to just blindly buy Christmas books like this because I mainly don't like them. But there must be a book in this stack that has the writing that I need in order to get through a romance book, particularly a holiday book. So I'm sorry, we're drawn again already. So we'll put the rejects in here. And hopefully third time's the charm. I'll know when I start a book if I can get through it. So let's see. Let's see if this is the one. Number 1. Okay. Number 1. Let's see what she is. The Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan. Again, a book that I don't really know what it is, but I feel like maybe this one will be better because I don't think it's romance centered. Maybe there is romance. I don't actually know, but I think it's about friends or sisters or something. So I'm gonna go start another Christmas book and I'll let you know what happens. Okay, I forgot to read the synopsis to you. So let's see. Nestled in rural Vermont's snowy landscape is Maple Sugar Inn, the boutique hotel Hattie Coleman and her husband Brent lovingly restored. But when Brent died a month after the opening, it was left to Hattie to carry on alone. With its historic charm and picture-perfect library, it's considered the winter destination. And as the holidays approach, the inn is fully booked with guests looking for their dream vacation. But widowed, far too young, and exhausted from juggling a hotel while being a dedicated single mom, Hattie dreams only of making it through the festive season. Okay, that's sad. When Erica, Claudia, and Anna, lifelong friends who seem to have it all, check in for a girlfriend's book club holiday, it changes everything. Their close friendship and shared love of books have carried them through life's ups and downs. But Hattie can see they're also packing some major emotional baggage, and nothing prepares her for how deeply her own story is about to become entwined in theirs. In the span of a week, over the most enchanting time of the year, can these 4 women come together to improve each other's lives and make this the start of a whole new chapter? Okay, that sounds really cute and kind of promising because it seems like it's focusing on female friendship. We do have a widow single mom, but then we have these 3 friends that come to her hotel and change her life. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Christmas at an inn with a cozy library and friendship. So let me get started reading. I need to just read the first few pages to see if I'm gonna cringe or if things might be okay. Okay, I've read a quick 15 pages and this is what I was well, not specifically. This is not upsetting me is what I can say. The writing seems good. It has that feeling of like a rom-com movie. Well, but no rom-com happening. But it has that feeling of setting and dialogue and like what's happening of a fun movie, and it's not cringy yet. So I'm intrigued. We're starting off following Hattie and we're seeing how she's trying to keep the inn up and take care of it, but she's by herself and she's still grieving the loss of her husband, but she's trying to run the inn the way that he liked it to be ran, to like keep him alive, I guess, which sounds like it's going to be a disaster because she doesn't really get to do things her way. And she's doing things that really aren't her strength to do, but she's getting by, and she's a single mother. And there's a guy that she has an awkward thing going on with because she kissed him at a Halloween event, and now she's avoiding him. So it sounds like there might be a little bit of romance, but I really want to see more of Hattie's life and what she's going through and like running the actual inn. So far, so good. I think I'm going to attach to this one. If it turns south, I will be switching. But for now, it seems like this one might be okay. You guys, I'm almost 100 pages in, and I'm enjoying the book, which I'm so excited about. So we got Hattie's perspective a couple times, and now we're also getting the perspective of the 3 friends. So each chapter is from the perspective of a different woman. And the 3 friends aren't on this trip yet. They're not at the hotel yet. They're discussing it. They're seeing if they can make it work because they have a book club where they read a book and then they get together and they stay at a hotel and talk about the book and just hang out and have a girls' week, which is so much fun. And I want to do that in real life. But one of the characters, Erica, she has this really high-powered job. She doesn't have any like serious relationships. Her job is her life. She travels all over the world, makes a bunch of money, and has decided like she doesn't want to have a family. And we're seeing like if she's actually fulfilled by that. but she's the one who found the maple sugar inn, if that's what it's called. She's the one who found it and suggested it to the girls, and they're like, why are you picking this hotel? Because it doesn't seem like you. Normally you would like a fancy 5-star hotel, and this one's more like quaint and cute. And we know from her perspective that she has a secret about why she picked it. Like a personal reason. It seems like, I don't know, maybe she's connected to somebody at the hotel. So excited to see that. There's a little mystery, which will always keep me intrigued. And then we're also following Claudia, who just got broken up with and fired from her job. So she's about to turn 40 and feels like multiple choices in her life have been made for her, and she's kind of reacting to it and feeling lost. And then we also have Anna, who is a married mother. Her life is her children. She's been a stay-at-home mom for many years, and her twin children, she has a boy and a girl, they're both going to college next year. So she is dealing with them kind of detaching and like not finding family stuff the most important thing right now, especially around the holidays. So it's really cool to see the three women and their dynamic, because they all have very, very different lives going on, and they all admire each other's lives, but then from their own perspective, they're each like grappling with their own stress and personal things going on, but then their best friends are seeing their lives like, gosh, I envy you, like I wish that were my problem. So it's fun to see them be so different, and I feel like anyone reading this is going to relate to one or multiple of the women, which I definitely feel like they all have something relatable going on in their storyline, which is really fun to read. And then we haven't seen the three friends interact with Hattie yet, but we see them interact with each other, and they've been friends for a long time, and they all know what each other needs, and it's really cool to see that established friendship, and now know that we're gonna get another friend involved, like a new friend, I think. So I'm really enjoying it so far, and I think I'm gonna read this one through to the end. I finished the book club hotel. I'm giving it maybe a 3. So the book was okay, right? For a holiday book, I enjoyed it more than I've often enjoyed a holiday book. But I was having a really good time in the beginning, and then things did get cheesy, as they tend to do. Where you have the three friends plus Hattie, so 4 different perspectives that we're jumping to. And sometimes it felt like we were taking turns with each character. Like, all right, what's this one upset about? Or what's their problem? Okay, what's the next one's problem? And then they're all like giving each other therapy. I mean, which is right for friends to do, but it just very much felt like taking turns with the problems. Okay, yours is resolved, on to the next one. Oh, the person who didn't have a problem, now it's their turn to have a problem. It felt very much like a formula we were following. And then there's a lot of female friendship stuff, but then a lot of the women were tied to a man. Actually, all of the women were tied to a man in some way. And that man had to be part of the solution, whether it was getting over them or getting with them. Like, the men were just a very important piece. Even for the one who was broken up from a relationship, it was still like, okay, but now you're falling in love with something else instead of a person, instead of a man. And this man is not what you thought he was. All that stuff. That's what I didn't like. But then I did like this like family that they've created. The inn is really cute. The town they're in is really cute. The Christmassy stuff is nice. I don't know. This is why I'm blitzing through the books, because they may just not be for me. But I want to keep trying. I want to keep reading these other ones because I have them, might as well. So I brought this over so I can immediately pick a new one. Here we go. Okay, open up. My nails are too long for this. Number 6, which is this one. A Season of Second Chances by Jenny Bayliss. Okay, Annie Sharp's spark for life has fizzled out. Her kids are grown up, her restaurant is doing just fine on its own, and her 26-year marriage has come to an unceremonious end. Untethered for the first time in her adult life, she finds a winter guardian position in a historic seaside home and decides to leave her city life behind for a brand new beginning. When she arrives in Willow Bay, Annie is enamored by the charming house, the invigorating sea breeze, and the town's rich seasonal traditions. Not to mention her neighbors receive her with open arms. That is, all except the surly nephew of the homeowner, whose grand plans for the property are at odds with her residency. As Christmas approaches, tensions and tides rise in Willow Bay, and Annie's future seems less and less certain. But with a little can-do spirit and holiday magic, the most difficult time of her life will become a season for second chances. Okay. As a divorced gal who got married young, maybe I will enjoy this. Maybe I will relate to it. I don't know. This book is over 400 pages. Is that necessary? I don't know. I'm going to give it a go, and I'll let you know if I make it very far. For some reason, I immediately thought I wasn't going to like this book, but now I'm 65 pages in and it's good. This book feels like I'm gonna like it more than the others because it feels more real, I guess. We're following a woman named Annie, and the way that the story is told just feels more authentic, less like Hallmark movie feeling, but it still feels like maybe more like a rom-com than a Hallmark movie. So we start off, and this woman who's been married for 26 years walks in on her husband cheating on her. But the way that it's written, it's like obviously that's devastating, but it's also kind of funny, and I've chuckled a couple of times so far. But Annie decides to leave her marriage. It's not the first time that he's cheated, and she finds a position for a winter caretaker in a little seaside house. Well, not little, a very nice seaside house that she's gonna stay there. She doesn't get paid, but she can live there for free. And her husband is like froze her out of her bank account, so it's kind of a good situation for her, and it's just somewhere she can get away. It's farther out from where she was, and she's going to use that to like clear her head and figure things out. She is a chef, and she and her husband have a restaurant together called, I think it was the Pomegranate Seed, which is cute. But now she's in this small seaside town, and I'm just excited to see what happens next for her. The book starts off, I think it's September, so it seems like we're going to have some time to get to the holidays, which is good because she literally just separated from her husband, and she just spent like a week in a hotel crying her eyes out and laying in bed. So I would like to see a bit of time before she falls for someone new. So I think that is good that it's going that way. And I just sampled the audiobook, and this is set in the UK. So the audiobook narrator is British, and I wanted to get the audiobook so I can do other things. And also one of those things being, I want to work on a puzzle. It's 1,000 pieces, and I haven't even gotten the edges together. And I feel like the clock is ticking. This is, I think it's like a winter ice skating scene. Oh, but side note for you. So growing up, my mom, grandma, family loves puzzles. And for us, like the rule was you open your puzzle and then you never look at the box or the picture for the puzzle again. And I recently saw someone doing a puzzle and looking at the picture. And now that I'm an adult, I realize, wow, I could look at the picture if I wanted to. But I realized I can't make myself because just the way that I've been doing puzzles all along, that feels like cheating. But also, puzzles are really hard. If you haven't done a puzzle recently, holy crap, it's very difficult. Also, I feel like my eyes aren't what they used to be. But yeah, they're challenging, but they're really fun. And I thought maybe I would start looking at the box because I can do whatever I want, but it feels like cheating. And when I have fun, it always has to be a challenge. Like, I cannot have fun if something feels easy or it feels like I'm making something easier for myself. I always have to make things difficult and challenging and make them worse and probably less enjoyable in the long run, but it feels like I'm making them more enjoyable. But anyways, all that to say, I'm gonna do my puzzle and I'm gonna listen to my audiobook. And so far I'm having a good time. I feel very good so far. Also, I'm obsessed with this bookmark. I got it last year from Humdrum Paper, and I looked forward all year to pulling this back out. So, and what else makes it cute is that the trees are actually behind him, because when you flip it over, the trees are behind the snowman. Brilliant. Just brilliant. I'm now on page 350 of A Season for Second Chances, and I'm enjoying it a lot. This book is not quite what the description said. I mean, it is, but it was missing a lot of information. So this little love story did not start until I think over halfway through, and I wouldn't even call it a love story when it started. But mainly we were following Annie. So she's breaking up from Max, her cheating husband, and we're seeing her stay in this seaside town and become a part of the community. So she's a chef. She left behind her restaurant with her husband. The house that she's staying in, which is not, I don't know, I thought it was big at first. I think it's actually really small. But it has a tea room attached, which the owner previously used to open like a little cafe. The owner is like 90 years old. So her nephew, this guy, is trying to sell the house to a developer, which for the developer, it's the land that's valuable and they're going to tear down the house. The community loves the house. They want to keep the house in the community. And now Annie is growing fond of the house because she opens a business. Like, she opens a cafe. She's baking, cooking, serving coffee 6 days a week now, which I didn't know that was an element to it at all. But it's lovely because she's used to running a restaurant and now she's doing something different by herself and really getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. She makes friends. She starts a book club, which their book club is crazy because sometimes they'll say, let's read this book and meet next Tuesday. Like, they don't even have a month to read a book. They have sometimes 2 weeks to read a book. And it's like Victorian novels that they're reading, which is fun to see their discussions, although I haven't read a single book that they've talked about. But I do like seeing the discussions and like their perspective of when they read a Victorian novel written by a man versus a woman and how women are portrayed in Victorian times. That's a little added bonus. But we also get to see Annie struggle with leaving her husband. So Max, of course, after he cheated on her, is desperate to get her back, but she doesn't want him back, but it's so comfortable and easy. So she's fighting with Max. And then she also has her children to think about because she stayed with her husband, even though he cheated on her multiple times and wasn't the best to her. But she stayed for the children, not knowing that the children knew all along that their father was terrible. And they also, had some negative feelings because they're like, oh, why does mom put up with that crap? So that's interesting to see their perspective. And then we're also getting Annie just getting used to being a person by herself. She dates someone else at one point. The book is a little, not raunchy, but I'm not interested in what Annie's doing at night by herself when she's thinking about this guy or things like that. But usually it's in a funny scenario that it's a little more explicit. It's definitely not explicit. And if you read this and you actually read explicit things, you're like, you're a prude. Fair. But it just wasn't expected, but it does make it feel more real, I guess, and more like natural of a book. So I'm having a great time. I really like Annie. I really like all the characters. There is one weird part about this homeless man that the community kind of takes care of, and he sleeps in the tea shop at night. And I don't know, he has a big, not big, but it is a large subplot, and I'm just a little thrown off by it and not sure why we needed that, but that's okay. There's a lot going on in this little community, a lot of people that she interacts with, a lot of side stories, which is nice to see. Like, it's very, very community. Oh, and one important thing I forgot to say, it's not even Christmas in here. it's a season for second chances, so I feel like we've been getting a whole season. Like the book starts in September, and we're probably like 70% of the way into the book before they first mention Christmas. And that's like November 24th, where they're putting up a Christmas tree. But the town is so active and so festive in general for all the holidays. Like they have a big deal about Halloween and bonfire night. So even though it wasn't actually Christmas, it's still very like holiday festive. And I enjoyed all of the like gatherings that the town has for the holidays. They have so many traditions, and Annie can weave her way into them easily because she has this cafe where she's offering to host some of these events like the previous owner used to. So I'm sure now that I'm almost done, we're gonna get some Christmassy stuff, but it's okay because it's been festive all along and really like cozy. There's a lot of cooking, there's a lot of coffee, there's a lot of hot chocolate in this seaside chilly little town. It is cute so far. I do need to finish this today because I'm going on a work trip. I'm going to California tomorrow morning. I have my flight's at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and I need to prepare for that. I didn't know I was going on this trip until recently, and honestly, if I would have known about this trip sooner, I would not have decided to do Bookmas. But I'm glad I didn't know because I think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to be able to do it just fine. I have had to shift my plans a little bit because now I need to make use of this work trip for a video. We're going to be reading at the airport, I guess. I have 2 really long travel days. But anyways, I'm going to finish this book today while I do my laundry and while I pack and while I spruce up the house before I leave. So that's the plan. And I'm going to check in when I've completed this book. All right, I've finished A Season for Second Chances. And overall, really enjoyed it. However, the end wasn't my favorite. It got very dramatic. There was danger. And mind you, there's not been danger for the entire book, but the end was very dramatic. There was danger involved. And it was honestly silly what happened. And unnecessary. And that was a really strange choice. It ends on Christmas, but this was truly not Christmassy. So, I don't know, the end really threw me off. Also, for any romance book, if our main character meets the love interest in the book, okay, they're a stranger, and then maybe a month or 2, however long passes, unless we're going a little longer in time, which these 2 were interested in each other for a month and a half maybe, you don't have to say I love you. I really don't need the character to say I love you. I hate when they do that. It's just like, no you don't. I'm in love with you. No you're not. Don't do it. We can just feel the feelings, make a declaration of some sort, say how much they mean to you, say how much you want to be with them, you enjoy being with them, but they don't have to say I love you. I hate that. I really do. So that was eye roll worthy. And then the danger part, it did sully my overall enjoyment. I was having a great time for the first 75%. And then also it wasn't Christmassy, which is fine. It wasn't Christmassy. Technically the back says as Christmas approaches, and that means from September through Christmas. So what am I giving this? It's not a 4 because of the end. It just can't be a 4. So I guess like a 3.5. I don't know. It's the best one of the video though because I had 2 DNFs. These 2 were my DNFs. These 2 I did finish reading and had an okay time. So that's that. I still have half of them left. Would you like to see a part 2 of this video, or should I just read this mixed in with other holiday books? Let me know what you think, but we'll see how it goes. I have Christmas horror, I have Christmas mysteries, thrillers to read. So I definitely think I can get through a variety of holiday genres. So we'll see if we do one that's just romance again. There's another Jenny Bayless in here, so I wonder if she can end the other book better and maybe I could have a 4-star holiday read, that'd be cool. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really good time. I liked the randomness. I liked taking the pressure off and being able to just stop reading as soon as I didn't like a book. And I liked that I was able to kind of enjoy a couple of books. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye.